Started. Thank you guys for joining us today. I'd love to do more of these little like daytime, just jump on working sort of Zoom calls. I think it's fun and, you know, casual and nice to get to see everybody. So hi, Joanne.
Hi.
Nice to see you guys. I'm glad you jumped on. I know this is totally last minute too. June's been a little bit of a whirlwind with summer break. If you guys have children, you probably understand that. It's a little crazy, but trying to keep in your daily habits is key. So, Joanne, you've been a coach for a while. Jenny, are you new?
I am brand new. Haven't even been announced yet.
Okay, who's your upline?
Angie Zielinski.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. So Liz is on the call here, and she's kind of like up in your upline.
Hi, sorry, I'm a wreck, so that's why I don't have my video on.
Oh, Liz, I mean, I was just
I am Angie's great grandmother.
It's all one big happy.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here and just absorb everything you guys have to give me.
Yay, I love that. That's how I was when I started out. And I guess that's one of the topics I want to talk on is the first thing you kind of have to figure out when you're starting out is what type of coach you are. And you can be a discount coach. And if that's the case, you probably wouldn't even be getting on any of these calls. You can be a hobby coach, which is someone that's just going to participate in your coach's challenge group and invite people here or there to join so you start to make income. And then you can be a coach that, you know, kind of wants to go all in and create a full-time income with this. Now, you can do that with intentions of, you know, trying to get to a goal of making $1,000 a month and have some extra money, or up into the six figures. And so I think the way you approach the business and the way you approach like your daily activities is going to depend on what I knew it. What was going to happen? Or, hold on. Let me stop them.
Next is now my dogs are going. Next is no. Come here. No, Leo. Go lay down. Lay down.
You're welcome. Thanks, Maria.
That's funny. My dog started going crazy as well.
Okay, sorry. It's happy day in my house. It's cleaning day. I don't clean though. So my cleaning lady showed up early. So anyways, okay, back on track is you want to really think about, you know, what your goals are in the business. And I will talk about when I started, I'm coming up on my 2-year anniversary. I kind of didn't really know what was possible. I saw some people who had done some really amazing things, but I just decided to set my goal to create an equal amount to the full-time income I used to make when I worked full-time before having kids. Once we had kids, I stayed home. But I knew that my daughter in 2 years, my youngest one was going to be starting kindergarten, and I wanted to at that time, thought I would feel guilty being home all day long when they were at school. So I wanted to create an income for our family. And so I went into this saying I was going to give it my all. And when I say that, I did. I was just a creature of knowledge. I was constantly doing the trainings. I think I went through and did the trainings that we had at that time in like 3 days. Like I just was obsessed. I said to my husband, it was a weekend. I was like, you get the kids during the day, like go to movies, go swimming, whatever. And you know, I'm just like, I'm going to take this all in. And so I jumped right in and I did the trainings. I was constantly Googling or going to YouTube and just searching whatever topic I wanted to learn more about, whether it was social media or how to share your story or cycle bonuses and what it meant to go emerald and all that. All the groups available. I was just constantly, I would fold laundry with my earbuds in, listening to stuff. I would do the dishes. I would cook dinner. I was kind of obsessive. But something drew me to this, and I knew that this could be exactly what I was looking for, the ability to be home with my kids, work when I want to, and create a really amazing income for our family. And so I feel like I see a lot of new coaches and they're really gung-ho, maybe their first couple weeks, and they get through the trainings or maybe doing one video a day, and then all of a sudden it just stops. If I were to go to our training group, I bet I would see that day or post 1 through 7, maybe even 10, that there are tons of comments and engagement on those posts. But once you get past that point and you go from like 10 to 20, those posts, there's not a lot of engagement. And so I urge you all, if I'm going to give you kind of 3 tasks for today to be your starting point. And the first one is to get through the training. And I know it's a lot, and I know it can seem really overwhelming, and we are actually in the process right now of revamping the training and condensing it so it's not so much information right away. But just take it that one post at a time. I always recommend that you get a notebook and take all your notes from your trainings you're doing, the team calls that you get on, anything you watch on YouTube, and keep it all in one place. And I have, now it's stacked under here, but I'm really funny and I like doing colors and stuff. So my first notebook I totally filled, that's the wrong one, totally filled, and then went on to a next one. And so I kind of have one per year is what I've done. And then I'm really funny and I color coordinated. I just want to show you. So I'll go through and just rotate. So this is a webinar I listened to with Melissa McAllister and Alyssa Shoemaker. And so I have how many pages that are in turquoise. And then I get to my next one, and here is Recruiting Like a Superstar with Mika Folsom and Tara Blaylock, and that's in purple. And so, I mean, you probably could be much more organized with this and have like tabs and sections and all that, but I just can flip through and title it, who it is that spoke on the call, and who and what you got out of it. And then another little tidbit is, if you watch a call that you are like, oh my gosh, that's amazing, it spoke to me, that's something that when I have a team, I'd want to share with them, or I think other people should watch, I have a file in my computer that I just copy and paste those website links. And so it has the topic, because it's good to go back and revisit stuff. And if you guys aren't familiar with Evernote, I would recommend getting Evernote. It's an app on your phone. If you have a Mac, it's an app on your Mac, or you can go to evernote.com. And it's like a filing system. It's like what you'd have in your computer, but it's accessible from your phone, your computer, everywhere. So when you start, it's nice because then you have access to it wherever you are. You don't need to have your computer on you. So that's pretty much my whole file system, other than like pictures or quotes that I upload to my challenge group. Everything else is in Evernote, so it's easy to access wherever I am, and I can work whether I'm in the pickup line at school or at home or in the backyard with my kids. So that is a little organizational tool. So first I would say, be a creature of knowledge and just soak up everything you can. Reach out to your uplines. Reach out to me. I feel like the reason I want to start doing these is because you may have an upline that's more of a coach that's just dabbling, and isn't in this to create and working full time and doing this every single day. And so I don't want someone that comes in under that person. It's not a bad thing at all, because this business is about you and what you create and has nothing to do with your upline, really. And because this team as a whole has so much training and support for you guys. So if your upline has different goals than you do, that's totally fine. But it's going to be up to you to reach out and do the trainings. And if you're a person that you're a brand new coach and you're like, I'm going to be a diamond within 60 days, I have a goal of being an elite coach next year, all this stuff, then reach out to whoever you connect with in the upline. Reach out to me, reach out to Liz, Gina, Carly, Emily, any of the, diamonds and above on the team. And we're all willing to help you. So, and we want you to succeed. So I don't want anybody to ever feel like they don't have the support or aren't sure where to go. I've just seen some new coaches reaching out to me, and they're not in trainings and they don't know, and they have this drive and this urge and this, they're go-getters, and they're kind of feeling lost. So all of the things to be successful are at your fingertips. You just have to ask and maybe do a little digging into the team page, which we're also cleaning up. The Inspired Life team page, if you go to the file section, everything's going to start being a lot clearer, easier to find the templates we have for you and all of that sort of stuff. And we have a big announcement coming very soon too about the team page. So it's just going to get easier. It's just going to get more clear. And so anybody starting out can do what they need to do to be successful. If I was to give you 3 things when you're a new coach to start out, it's going to be go through your training, start reading personal development. If you are not reading personal development, you need to be reading personal development. I think a great book to start with, and one that I buy all my new coaches now, is called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And it's a really easy read. The big picture with it is that all these small daily activities are what add up to this big end result. And so it was the first book I read when I was starting out. And I just had this moment where I was like reading it and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's why they tell you. That's why all these trainings say you need to show up every single day. You need to be sharing your story. You need to be consistent. You need to be a product of the product, doing your workouts. I mean, those consistent activities are what result in changes in your body. The same consistent daily activities in your posting and reaching out to people are going to result in growth in your business. So it all kind of goes hand in hand. And if you really understand it and you realize that it's going to take work to grow your business, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It takes time. It takes finding people that want to go on this journey with you. And with that, though, as long as you're consistent and committed, that's when the end results come. It's not easy. I know that every day you don't feel like posting, and I know when you're starting out, it's really scary. You don't know what to post. You think that people are going to think you're nuts if you start posting all of a sudden these health things, and they've never heard anything from you. So what I always tell my new coaches is baby steps into this. Before I started this, you guys, I feel like one day I should scroll back to my Facebook and find like 2000. I don't think I was even on Facebook until it was way after Facebook started. I was like anti-Facebook and any social media for a really long time. And then once I got on, the only thing I ever posted was pictures of my kids because I didn't want to be in pictures. I didn't want anybody seeing me. So the fact that I post a selfie work picture at least daily is crazy. And it took a lot of personal development to get there. It wasn't something that came easy. I guarantee you, if you ask any coach, they will tell you when they did their coming out post, they felt like they were going to throw up after they posted it. And I can totally relate to that. I remember writing my whole thing up and talking to my coach, Megan, and sending it to her and her telling me it was good. And she recommended I use before and after pictures. Okay, so somebody that had never posted a picture of themselves on social media, the first picture they're going to post is me in a bikini before and after. Talk about want to throw up, okay? And I remember it was a Monday night, 6 o'clock, and I did it, and I closed my computer, and I laid down on my kitchen table because that's where I used to work. I didn't have an office. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I'm going to throw up. And I literally felt ill. And then my husband came home an hour later, and I told him he was like, you posted that? Huh? Oh, okay. And he was very supportive of it. And he was like, way to go. Good job getting out of your comfort zone and making it happen. And whether you choose to do a before and after in a bikini, which you do not have to do, or a picture of you, before and now, and you're fully clothed and you're holding your kids, whatever it may be, you want to talk about transformation there. And no matter what, it's scary because you're becoming vulnerable. And there's going to be a lot of times in this business that you have to be vulnerable. And with that, you need to get really thick skin. And so that's where the personal development comes in. And the second book I would recommend for you to read is You're a Badass. by Jen Sincero, and it is amazing. I honestly have it on audiobook. I read it the first time. I have it on audiobook. I listen to it. If I ever like start to like get those thoughts in your head because they creep in, what are people going to think about this? What are people saying about me? All that kind of stuff. I just put that book on, I don't even know what part I'm listening to. And I always feel better about it because I'm going to remember my why I'm doing this, what my goals was to create that full-time income so I could be home with my kids, which by the way, I did in 1 year. And to, be present and create this life that I want and not be stuck working for someone else and away from my family. That was my why. So personal development, training, and then kind of going through the vital behaviors, really being a product of the product. So that is just the most important thing. You guys, you need to be drinking Shakeology. You need to be on Shakeology Home Direct. Shouldn't be a question. If you're getting overloaded, you're not drinking it every day. It's amazing stuff. And you can't tell somebody else to buy a product or promote a challenge pack if you're not drinking it yourself. For me, Shakeology was one of my biggest holdups before becoming a coach. When I started with a program, I bought the 21-day fix and did not keep the Shakeology. I sold it to the person that sold it back. She bought it back from me. I think she wanted Success Club points, now knowing. So she told me to buy the challenge pack. But I was like, no, my husband's a chiropractor. We get amazing supplements. I have this amazing protein I drink, and I'm just going to keep doing that. And so when I learned about the coaching opportunity, I did a little bit more research. My big holdup was I was like, I have to make sure Shakeology is okay, and I would drink it because I'm not going to promote something that I wouldn't give myself or my family. So we did some research, my husband and I, and he gave it thumbs up. And then I ordered my Coach Challenge Pack, and I got my Shakeology, and I was like, why did I not start drinking this 4 months ago? I couldn't believe it, right? It was crazy. And I haven't stopped. I barely miss a day. You need to be doing the same. And I know that for new coaches, the price can feel like a lot. You're telling people to buy it. But when you're drinking it and you start noticing the changes in your body and the way you feel and your cravings being curbed, it's a lot easier to talk to someone about why they should do this when you truly believe that it, can change their life and be part of the total package for them. And then, of course, a program. You need to be following a program start to finish. It's really, really important. And then sharing your story. And I don't mean that you have to post daily your sweaty selfie and just, I got my workout done. You want to share. Share what it meant to you to get your workout done. Share how many excuses you came up with earlier that day as to why you couldn't do it. Share how difficult it was to get it done, or how many times your kids interrupted you, 10 times, but you actually got it done. Finally, you had to push pause 10 times and it took 3 hours, but the workout's done. That's what people relate to. And when people are relating to you sharing your story, that's when they're going to reach out to you. So just posting a picture of you with your Shakeology cup and saying, this is not water obviously, but like breakfast, people don't want to see that. They want to connect with you. And so I think that it's something that over time develops. It's a skill to learn to share your story. And to get ideas on how to do that, follow some of the coaches that have on, our upline and see how they're sharing without selling. And that is where the people will start to connect with you, and they won't find your posts annoying. They will, at the end of the post, you can say something like, tap that like or comment, interested, or reach out to me if this is something you're interested in. Just give them something that's like an easy way. And you don't even always have to do that. They're watching. People don't always like and comment, but they're watching. And I just saw, I'm part of a group called The Wall, which is for 5-star diamonds and above. And somebody wrote in there the other day about they've noticed lately that people aren't liking and commenting on their posts as much. And this is something that I've noticed myself. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, am I starting to annoy people? Like, have I changed something that I'm doing in my posting that is rubbing people the wrong way? And there's just something going on. So that same coach did a post on her personal page, and she said, I've noticed this change in people liking and commenting, but when I see people in person, I constantly have people coming up to me saying, I love your posts. You're so inspirational, you're motivational, you're true, you're real. She's like, but they don't ever like or comment. So why?
That's what's going on.
Yeah, right? And so she said in her post, it's Andrea Crowder. And so she said in her post, she was like, what's going on? Like, be honest. Like, I want constructive criticism. Do you find me annoying? Like, what is it? Or do you just choose not to like or comment? And I read through all the comments and I was like, wow, it's really interesting. A lot of them said, like, I read every one of your posts. I just don't like or comment, because I think they feel like a lot of times that they, if they like or comment, it can show up in their feed, which when you're a coach, we kind of have everything as public. So we know everybody's seeing everything anyways. But people are still watching is my point here. And so I don't want anybody to feel distressed or feel like it's not working if people aren't engaged in your posts. And that's where the daily activities of inviting and connecting and reaching out to people come in. And that's the fourth vital behavior. And so that used to just be invite. And they just changed it to connect. Oh gosh, I'm not going to remember right now. Connect something and invite. So the whole idea is really, you don't ever want to be sending just a cold message to someone that says, hey, I'm starting a challenge group in 2 weeks. Do you want to join me? You need to be forming relationships with people. And there's some training about that we have in the Girl Boss training group. And then also it really dives into it in the Emerald group that we have. So if you have been a coach a little bit longer and you're not in the Emerald group, that's that group we rolled out that has 5 videos. It's kind of a go at your own pace push to Emerald. And it has some really great tips on how to form relationships and other things about growing your business once you get through your first training. And so it's about forming relationships with people and getting comfortable with just sending them a message that just says, hey, like, how have you been? Your vacation looked awesome, and connecting with them there. And I guarantee you that if you start that way and you just go back and forth, ask them some questions, they're going to answer you. Maybe you ask you some questions. And if you're being consistent with your posting on social media, probably there's a good chance that they've seen your post about Beachbody and they're maybe going to ask what you're doing. And then at that time, you can invite them. Because I know inviting can be so scary for new coaches. And that's kind of the way to go about it. Sharing, people will eventually reach out to you. And, me personally, when I started, I didn't have to do a lot of cold invites or those hey girl messages. I committed to posting 2 to 3 times a day on social media, and people figured out pretty quickly what I was doing. And then I would have enough people reaching out to me or, eventually getting comfortable. And you guys, sometimes I have people that I've talked to for over a year that finally are committing now. They've been watching. They want to make sure you're not going to quit. They want to make sure you're serious about this, because why would they want to start a journey with someone that's just starting out and they don't know if you're going to do this for a month or 2? So some people need a little bit more security. And so, I think almost at 2 years at this, people know that this is not something that's going to stop. They're going to keep seeing posts from me. So if they don't like it, they probably should just unfriend me and move on, because it's not going anywhere and it's something I'm very passionate about. And if you do it right in your posting, you will not be annoying to people. And so you just have to kind of think before you post, write what you're going to write, and then think, if I was reading this, how would I feel reading this? Would I feel, oh my gosh, here she goes again, talking about Shakeology? Or would I be like, wow, that's really interesting. I didn't know that. So kind of do that little check before you post. Okay, I just want to kind of summarize, and then we'll leave it open to questions for you guys, and I'm always here for that. So your 3 tasks would be get through your training. I know it can be redundant. I know it can feel like a lot, but just commit to 1 to 2, maybe 3. Some of the videos are shorter a day. And if you do that, you can knock it out in a week to 2 weeks, maybe even faster if you're crazy like I am and obsessive. Get your personal development, start reading that. And then 3 would be start sharing on social media. And what I mean by that is commit to at least 1 post a day. And you don't want to be 1 post a day of Beachbody every single day. You want to start that 80-20 rule that's talked about in that training. So you want 20% to be Beachbody and 80% to be everything else. And when I say that, that 20% is really needs to be those like call to action, like big obvious posts, but you can incorporate Beachbody into your other 80% where you're sharing a picture of your kids and maybe about to go on a field trip. Normally you wouldn't have to because, you know, you would be working, but you were able to, you know, go on that because of your income, your supplemental income from Beachbody. Or maybe you got to buy a new blender, you know, that was $300. And so normally that would be something that you wouldn't want to spend that much money on, but this extra money, even the smallest things, you guys, the smallest things, being able to pay your cell phone bill, being able to pay for your gas for your car payment, that's the kind of stuff that people relate to. That's the kind of stuff that makes people realize that they can do this too. Coaches that have been coaches for a really long time and, you know, are buying homes and buying brand new cars and all that, that's harder for people to relate to because that seems so far off to someone that's starting out. So talk about those little things. Those are really important. Training, what do you say? Product of the product. You missed that one. Make sure you're doing a workout and drinking your Shakeology. Liz, are you still on? Tell me if I'm missing anything. I feel like I totally got everything mixed up there at the end.
I'm still on. I can't now I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's mainly the vital behaviors. So
yep.
Daily posting, and that can build. So if you're starting with 1 post a day, you know, do that for the first week. And then the second week, go to 2. And it can be a quote with a little blurb that you write up, a motivational quote. You know, little things. Start sharing recipes. You guys, people love recipes. Like show the picture of the food, write the recipe out. If you're up for it, you can go live on your page now and make a little video. That can be really scary, but people love it. Those are the things. Give them value, add value to their page. So you're going to talk about yourself and tell them what you're doing, but add value somehow. So you're giving them something. And that's where people start to really connect with you. So I think that's good. I think I got it. I'm going to stop recording, and then if you guys have any questions, we can go over that.